A very good afternoon to you all. Thank you for watching UBC Television with me, your host, Wadulo Mark Arnold. Actually, call me your news anchor, and this is your lunchtime news. And without further ado, let's start with some fresh stories from the day. A historic milestone in regional cooperation has been achieved as President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and President Samia Suluhu of the United Republic of Tanzania jointly commissioned the Chikagati Murongo Hydropower plant in Isinjiro district. This monumental project, operating under a 20-year power purchase agreement, is set to revolutionize the economies of southwest Uganda and northwest Tanzania, bringing about transformative changes to livelihoods in these regions. Now, Dennis Sigua was in Isinjiro for this launch and filed the story.
Chikagati Murongo Hydropower Plant is a cross-border project owned 90% by Africa Renewable Energy and Barclay Energy. Constructed on Kagera River, the largest tributary of Lake Victoria, the plant has a 14 megawatts power generation capacity and a project guarantee of 100 years.
Because the people want development, want transformation. The potential is there, but the ones in charge are not seeing it. So I want to thank His Excellency Magufuli, because you hear we started on this in 2005, nothing could move. Until 2018, that's when President Magufuli came, and I told him, I said, oh, you know, Magufuli will waste no time. He authorized it. And when Samia came, we went ahead. So, nawashukuru sana.
And I must say that the power generated here shall improve a lot of things. One, it's going to improve trading and investment in this region. It's going to improve the transport and transportation of people and goods, and so trade activities. It's going to improve social services, clean and safe water, sound health services, better schooling, contemporary teaching modalities are going to be done here because power is here.
The plant will sell its power to the national grid, and the consumers will pay US cents 8.5 per kilowatt hour for the electricity generated. President Yoweri Museveni, however, implored the developers to make the cost cheaper.
This price of 8.5 cents per unit is not a Christian idea. What can we do about this eventually? How can we bring it down? Because we are insisting that power, especially for manufacturing, should be about 5 cents.
Designed and constructed to produce approximately 130 gigawatts per annum, the project has all the makings of being a major catalyst in transformation of livelihoods and the economies of southwest Uganda and northwest Tanzania.
We've come from a long way, and hydropower is supposed to be cheap. So we shall work towards reducing the units. But this requires investing government money in generation, in transmission. The more you borrow money expensively, the more you will see expensive power.
We have Masaka Mwanza transmission line that is being thought about. There is Nsongezi hydro that we are also talking about. We have a gas pipeline from Tanzania to Uganda that we are discussing. We have this project as well that has brought us here today. So you can see we have a number of energy projects that we are planning, we want to do, and we are already doing.
Owned equally by the United Republic of Tanzania and the Republic of Uganda, the Build, Own, Operate and Transfer project, with a 20-year power purchase agreement, cost the developers $100 million. With the plant fully operational, the next important phase, according to Barclay Energy, is the setting up of an efficient power evacuation infrastructure and enhancement of last-mile connections.
That the project can generate 16 megawatts, and it would be to the benefit of both countries to increase the power uptake to serve the ever-increasing demand. We expect that the full 16 megawatt capacity would be absorbed by the electricity demand in the region as early as 2024. We understand from Umeme that the increased power supply from Chikagati has stabilized and improved the quality of power supply in Barara and the neighboring areas.
The local leadership of Isingiro district lauded the two governments for the initiative and vowed to protect the investment and the environment in order to sustain power generation for generations.
So for us as people of Isingiro, when they give us electricity, one, they reduce on the price of electricity. Two, they give us water as the district. Each and every village they put in water as area planned. I want to assure you, my brother, I want to assure the whole country that we shall do what it takes to conserve this river.
There is also economic empowerment. Many small-scale industries are coming up and they are going to partake of this power. And that will, of course, ensure empowerment of the wananchi, especially the younger people, creating employment, saving our environment, and generally improving the lives of the wananchi.
Dennis Igoa for UBC News.
Now, furthermore, the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife and Antiquities has revealed an incredible surge in local tourists, with numbers skyrocketing from 132,000 pre-pandemic to a staggering 890,000 people. Now, the goal is to hit 1 million tourists by the year's end, and this was revealed by players in the industry during the launch of the Explore North campaign, which aims at inspiring Ugandans to embrace domestic tourism and unlock the hidden gems of our beautiful country.
You're most welcome. Thank you so much for joining this campaign. For instance, prior to COVID, the number of Ugandans that were visiting all the sites, I mean Awake, I mean the museum, all the other tourist establishments that anyone would want to visit in this country, the Ugandans visiting were around, I think, 132,000, only 132 prior to 2019, before we got to COVID. As we speak now, by the end of last year, we had around 890,000 Ugandans visiting. So you can see that's a huge jump. And our prayer is that by the end of this year, at least we hit 1 million. I want to thank government for the support. If you know the source of the Nile, we are going to do some development there, including a pier that can park around 19 boats. We'll have a viewing deck. We'll have a few other establishments along the source of the Nile. It won't be the final completion of the project, but it will be a starter. If you look at what we are planning for Makshon Falls going forward, if you look at what we are doing in Rwenzori, the boardwalks, the two camps that we are setting up, if you look at what we are going to do at Uwek. So there are a number of things that we are doing in terms of, first of all, product development. Second of all, marketing as well, beyond only, because what we are doing now is targeting mainly the domestic market.
So what we're doing with Explore North is to take this beautiful brand or remind people about this beautiful country. And as we do that, we'll definitely promote tourism. My interest for Explore North is watch chameleon perform. That's my interest. I also want to learn a bit about culture, and I believe that Miss Tourism Queens and everybody here will want to know a little bit about culture, especially the Acholi culture, and how it intermingles with the Allure, because I know they are separated by a river. Then also infrastructure tourism. We recently had an MOU with Uganda Electricity Generation Company, and we will get access to the Karuma Dam. As you go up there, as you go up to the north, you can be able to detour. And I'm happy that this campaign will definitely take us there.
Particularly for this Explore North, I want to notify my people in the north that I'm coming at Tikabino. Yes. The northern part of Uganda, those are my Mukos. You gave me a beautiful wife. Now I'm coming to showcase the beautiful north to the rest of the world. Yeah, I know people think when you go to explore Uganda, you're going to watch the Murchison Falls and the elephants and the monkeys and the chimpanzees. I think we have more to showcase also with the cultures and the communities. So the food and the way those people dance, told you until people who dance Vinyanya from Masaka, that is a different culture. That culture that side, their community is different. So.
And furthermore, Busoga region residents have been asked to have a positive mindset towards work and improve their household incomes. The Presidential Advisor on General Duties and Chairman Exports and Industry Advisory Committee, Odrek Rabogo, who is currently a nationwide campaign to empower Ugandans improve on production to create a big supply for export to foreign markets, was addressing leaders from Busoga sub-region at Iganga Boys Primary School.
National Advisor on General Duties and Chairman Exports and Industry Advisory Committee, Odrek Rabogo, has explained that it's always better for change to happen from within people themselves whenever possibilities are cited. Odrek Rabogo, who is currently on a nationwide campaign to empower Ugandans, improve on production to create a big supply for export to foreign market, was addressing leaders from Busoga sub-region at Iganga Boys Primary School.
The market will demand a particular type of infrastructure. If each one of our households at a parish level, at a village level, understand what the market wants on a particular product, if you take vegetables or grains or fish, understand the standards required for us to get a better price. The country will sell more and at better prices and will create more jobs. This is the message I have. Because
former Chairman Iganga Patrick Kayamba said the dialogue comes at a time when Busoga is lagging behind in development due to poverty.
Busoga, we have a big challenge of land fragmentation because first of all the population has grown and land has remained the same. That means therefore that we have to use that land. And remember, many people have been induced to enter into sugarcane growing, which requires many people, for example, to actually rent out all their land and remain with small lands. Under that circumstance, therefore, we are arguing to our population to involve themselves in high-value crops, but with the market and export in the face.
A former district councillor for Igombe sub-county, Bugweri Mariam Janen, said she'll use Rabogo's knowledge and ideas acquired to transform society from peasantry to commercial.
The knowledge that people have been behind, using things that they don't really understand. But if at all we come out and speak out to the people to do what they are supposed to do and to use the things which are which are modern, that means it is going to help this country to grow.
Thomas Katerega, the National Coordinator for Exports and Industry Advisory, says Busoga only lacks planned production and therefore they need to be guided on what to produce to meet the market.
If you do the same for oranges, if you do the same for mushrooms, these Basuga will cultivate. Basuga are not lazy people. They are very hard-working people. We need to find the market and also guide them on what to produce.
OEC World Research indicates that in 2021, Uganda exported a total of $3.55 billion, making the number to 130 exporter in the world. During the last 5 reported years, the exports of Uganda have changed by $744 million from $2.81 billion in 2016 to $3.55 billion in 2021.
Now, driven by of dedication to patriotism and social transformation, the national chairman for the Revolutionary Guard, Shadrach Nzaire Kaguta, and his team have embarked on a 2-day Busoga tour. Their mission is to sensitize communities about the importance of patriotism and bring about positive social change. The team also pledged to provide a standby generator to a local hospital to address the constant power blackouts that have plagued the facility. Let's have a look.
Power goes off and on, whereby it disorganizes our work and also destroys our equipment.
Basanze road trading, amasanyalaze gavako, twagambe tugenda kubawa standby generator. Ne partners baffe tugenda kubawa standby generator so that omukyala alusiyeta amasanyalaze bwe gavako. The challenges we found here at the hospital. There are many challenges, but they are not permanent challenges. They can be addressed. One of them was finding road shading sometimes when mothers are in a theater or other people, that the electricity goes off. Me and my partners here, people from MK movement, people from team chairman, people from even NUP, even FDC, because it's not the anonymous thing. We need, we get together, but me have pledged on behalf of those groups that we shall bring here a standby generator, and that standby generator, we know the manufacturer, and they don't sell fake products. So we shall mobilize our partners, we will bring that standby generator, and donate it to this hospital.
Abalwaire baife okubagemerako okubawaako obuyambi obutontono bwasobwire aye ekisinze kutusanusanga ife bana bakyala Iganga district batusuubiza okutuwa standby generator erijo okutuyambanga singa amasanze gaba gaviireku nti twakirawo sawa yeneyo tuve mu nzikiza yetu baye tulimu kubeera tubaire tusumbuyibwa waenda n'okujja kulyayo ng'oli kutyayo olw'enzikiriza ife n'amasanze gavaako ino aye tuli basanufu ino era tusaba nti bongere okutuyamba batakoma okwo tuli basiimu ino olwali biza okutuwaayo ekyuma generator ejo okutuyambangako kubanga era n'obuzibu tubaye tulinabwo obwenzikiriza nga n'omwibi ayinza okwida yakwiba kwako.
In a bid to create awareness about natural disaster preparedness and control, Dr. Caroline Nabuzare, through information gathered in a lengthy case study, and has written a book entitled How Journalists Report on Natural Disasters to equip media practitioners with knowledge for better reporting on environment and climate change. The book is set to be launched this afternoon. Let's have a look.
The main theme for this book launch is media impact on climate change and natural disaster prevention and recovery in Uganda. Now, the gist of the matter is, how do I come about to write this book? As part of my research findings from my PhD thesis, I looked at the gap between the media houses, the media industry, and the citizens vis-a-vis the policymakers in line with the natural disasters in Uganda. Now, what took me to the field is something that was bothering my mind, because that would be the problem. Someone wondered, why would you be interested in talking about disasters of all things? Even cases like the Elgon region, where we have landslides that have been recurring for many years, even for, I would say, for generations, maybe even before independence of Uganda, we've been having landslides, we have having floods, and now we're having bridges collapsing and many other disasters happening in the country. I felt like we needed to look at that gap between the media houses, the communicators in general, to carry out a study.
Ebiseera by'okuzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu, kano kalippagano ka bidduka. Simanyi kuzunga na banka siripusi? Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyizi *165*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erungamizibwa banka enkulu ya Uganda.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
She is our family's pride, and as her father, I will protect her from child marriage and talk to her about the dangers of teenage pregnancy. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from child marriage and pregnancy, because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sauti 116.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *100*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *100*10#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *100*10# to get started.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Uganda is rich in natural resources and hard-working people. But to turn these resources into real progress and development, we need to invest in our infrastructure, education, and health care. That's where taxes come in. When we pay our taxes, we are investing in our country's future. We are supporting the schools that educate our children, the hospitals that care for our families, and the roads and bridges that connect our communities. And when businesses pay their taxes, they are contributing to the growth and development of Uganda's economy. They are helping to build a stronger, more prosperous nation for us all. So when you pay your taxes, you are investing in the future of Uganda and supporting the progress and development of our nation. Uganda is because of you.
Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda together.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Lunchtime News, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue here on UBC TV. Now, in more news, the State Minister for Fisheries, Helena Doa, has urged the people of Teso to henceforth desist from destroying the environment if the region is to overcome the after effects of such acts as witnessed elsewhere. She said this while officiating the launch of the Environment Run in Serere district, organized by Okabe Foundation by the late Patrick Okabe, former MP Serere, in his memory, in conjunction with the Teso Karamoja Media Agency.
Flag you to run for generations, green Serere, and make Serere the best environment that the world can admire. Hey. Family, let us plant fruit trees like this jackfruit, local mangoes, improved mangoes. We have lemon. These oranges are powerful. Of recent, when we got COVID, lemon trees or fruits proved to be powerful. Even now, in hotels I have seen, instead of washing with soap, they now cut lemons in the water and wash their hands. And
through all my churches, telling my lay readers, my priests, and to ensure that even every baptism done, we should plant a tree in memory of that child's baptism. Especially, we are also encouraging the aspect of families as Christian communities to foster and show this as one of the commitments of our Christian contribution.
Tree species. If you ask yourself, where are they? Where is the tamarind? Where are the shea nut butter trees? Aibejazi. Eusuk, Abach, where are they? These are traditional trees that are either medicinal or bear fruits that are edible.
Now, rights groups in Kenya are concerned about the increasing number of people being murdered on suspicion of engaging in witchcraft. The relatives of the victims, however, say that the deceased were innocent and ulterior motives such as inheritance are behind such attacks.
Kisii County in western Kenya has for a long time grappled with the problem of multiple murders of people suspected of having engaged in witchcraft. Many of them have been killed despite there being no proof of such acts and the law warning against mob justice. The extrajudicial killings have also often been condemned by the government and civic society groups. We welcomed at Thomas Nyakundi's home. Nyakundi lost his mother who had a mental disorder. She was burnt to death by villagers who alleged she was involved in witchcraft. Her grave serves as a painful reminder of what transpired. Arer Mokaya, who is Nyakundi's son, is the only one in this home after his family took off fearing for their safety.
A group of men came to our house. They started beating up my grandmother. They beat her up with crude weapons, dragged her on the floor and burnt her to death.
My family is not here. They can't come here because they get angry. When they come here, they start crying, so I only get to talk to them through the phone. I can't meet them. I'm just alone in this homestead.
Most of those targeted are elderly women. Some have been forced to change their appearance to avoid falling victim to superstitious and murderous lynch mobs.
We fear for our lives. Most of us old people have to dye our hair black because we fear for our lives. They see white hair and automatically label one a witch, and you risk being killed.
Just a few meters from this homestead, we meet another victim of this crime. Victor Nchari lost his mother too. She was taken from her home and burnt to death. In the process of defending his mother, Onchari was badly injured by the mob.
They think that people are witches. My mother was not a witch. We came to establish later that she was very innocent. This was mistaken identity.
The witchcraft allegations by those who've lost their loved ones, they say that most of these perpetrators, time when the owner of the land is aging, and they quicken up the process by killing them to start a tussle. The tussle is all about inheritance and, of course, subtle issues like land ownership. The United Nations has catalogued some 20,000 victims of violence tied to fears of practices of sorcery across 60 countries worldwide in the past decade. In Africa, that violence takes many forms but largely targets children, women, the elderly, and people with albinism.
Witchcraft is an issue, is something that has been there for quite, I can actually say, since, times past, since time immemorial, especially among the people of Africa, so to say. The socialization that an individual grows up in is to a great extent responsible for escalating the beliefs, right, and the traditions and the perceptions that people have towards witchcraft.
This year, the African Union set out guidelines for how its member states should address the societal harms arising from popular beliefs about witchcraft, a belief that cuts across socioeconomic groups in Africa. Nick Mudimba, CGTN, Kisii County, Kenya.
All right, thank you very much for being a lovely audience and watching the lunchtime news here on UBC TV, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. We now cross you over to the office of the Prime Minister for the NRM Manifesto Implementation Week. Have yourselves a lovely afternoon.
By the end of the financial year 2022-23, economic growth is projected at 5.5%, up from 4.6%.